Good morning. I'm Jen Amos at Weiss Research.
I'm Andy Myers, and this is your morning market alert for Wednesday, June 29th. Wall Street is likely to follow the European markets higher at the open. U.S. stocks are building on yesterday's big gains amid optimism that the Greek parliament will approve a new austerity plan and the faster privatization of some national assets. The measures are unpopular among the public, and they've prompted 2 days of general strikes and protests that have turned violent. But the move is necessary for Greece to continue receiving international aid and avoid a default on its debt. A vote on the austerity measures is scheduled for this afternoon. If it passes, the European Union and IMF will release 12 billion euros and take up debate on the terms of another bailout for the struggling country.
Optimism about the passage of the plan is sending stocks across Europe sharply higher, and the euro is seeing a strong rebound against other major currencies. The weakness in the dollar today, meanwhile, is pushing commodities solidly higher. Crude oil is jumping more than $1, now trading back around $94 a barrel, and gold is now rising well above the $1,500 an ounce mark. Investors are also moving away from U.S. Treasuries, sending yields back up. The yield on the 10-year note is now approaching 3.1%, after hovering below 3% for much of the past month. The U.S. economy will come back into focus later this morning when the National Association of Realtors releases its gauge of pending home sales for May.
On the corporate front, we're likely to see some big gains by Bank of America. It's jumping nearly 5% in the pre-market on reports that it's close to settling a big mortgage loan lawsuit. The Wall Street Journal said B of A may pay $8.5 billion to investors who lost money on holdings of mortgage-backed securities in the wake of the U.S. housing market crash. The plaintiffs in the case include money manager BlackRock, insurer MetLife, and the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. They said that securities purchased from Countrywide Financial before the financial crisis were full of lousy mortgages, and they were deceived by the quality of the debt and the collateral behind it. Bank of America acquired Countrywide in 2008 for $4 billion. News of the deal is boosting the entire financial sector this morning. In addition to B of A's gains, Citigroup and Wells Fargo are rising about 2%, and JP Morgan Chase is up 1.5%.
The technology sector may also get some investor attention today. After yesterday's closing bell, Dell said it expects to buy back more than $2 billion in stock during the current fiscal year, on top of the $1.6 billion it's repurchased already. Shares of Dell are set to open about 1% higher on the news. Yahoo may also post gains at the open. It's spinning off a company focused on the open-source Hadoop software that it and other cloud computing firms use to process large amounts of data. The new company will be called Hortonworks, and it will be formed in partnership with Benchmark Capital. Yahoo predicted that within 5 years, more than half of the world's data will be stored in Hadoop software. That's the latest from Weiss Research. We'll be back after the opening bell with all the market reaction, plus earnings news from General Mills and a deal for one of the world's largest wholesale retailers.